Well, sure hope everyone can hear this. This is me, the angry anime fan, the despair reviewer, and this is the Doctor Stone chapter. Can hear this? The Doctor Stone chapter 107. First of all, a pretty nice chapter, especially the fact that we saw some action girling and all that stuff. However, the ending is the real question. Are you saying that, alright, are you telling me that everyone is going to have to rely on that person? Either way, regardless of the fact that they're going to have to make Kohaku feel like she is too attractive. I mean, these guys are pretty dumb. That fact, yes, Kohaku is kind of boyish, I admit, but she is pretty fine looking, more than you think she is. So Amarisa decides to take off a dress, thinking she'll look cool in it, and she changes right here and there because, well, she is like she always is. The fact that not even Ashiguro again turns around is pretty telling. And yes, in the dress she does look a little bit cuter, but she also has more trouble moving around, and she's not allowed to have weapons. But then Senku says that they need a massive undertaking of science makeup, but the tools he has is not enough, so they need a lab. And this, after all, for him, science is his advantage and his only advantage. So if he can get that, then if he cannot get that, they cannot stand a chance against that. And well, things get a little bit dicey though. The fact that the tribe has already boarded the ship and with flaming bullets and are well trying to figure out what is happening. And then later on, a very ugly but very tall looking man joins the boat as well. Again, just how many children did these ancestors reproduce, you know? It can't be really this simple. But he is basically the other boss of the island. So why do I have a feeling like he is one? I mean, the boss sounds just like now to be, the head boss seems to be the main antagonist of this arc. But the fact that he looks like Soyuz makes me question if he is Soyuz's distant relative. Granted, we haven't seen the head, but Amelus seems to mistake the fact that the head was Soyuz. So we'll see, won't we? But this is the other boss of the island, meaning that he is more involved than anything else. I mean, he's older than the others well. And he certainly is tall, as Kirisame looks dwarf compared to his massive size. Although it's worth noting that he is not as muscular, but he still is very tall. It's not exactly known what they are wanting with the ship, but it's worth noting that they know for the fact that it is a ship and not something else. This man is called Ibara, and Kirisame mentions that the equipment is far beyond their understandings. And then she begins to say something about we should take swift measures. But Ibarra just threatens, saying that you're not saying an opinion. You know the head is the one who decides. I'm not really sure what that includes, but this they don't know about science. They call this sorcery, but they do seem to be more knowledgeable than other ones. And then Ibarra wants to take some of the clothing and shoves Chrome's statue, breaking it a little bit. Normally that would be very threatening, but it is stated that if you can live them together, it's possible to save them. Unfortunately, this is just enough that Koaku can take, and she breaks through the ropes in order to get closer. Unfortunately for her, Kirisame manages to find her, and seeing that she immediately enters an attack rage, proceeds to kick her and shows that, yes, Kirisame is an extraordinary sexy lady with such enormously nice thighs and legs, mind you. But she is also not something to be trifled with, as one kick can even shatter a rock from her. Basically, I think we would call her a more dangerous Kwaku. Unfortunately, Kwaku cannot fight against her, simply though because the dress she's wearing is not compatible with her movement. She is acknowledging that Kirisame is strong, but it's also worth noting that Kohaku is in a disadvantage of this dress. So out of options, she suddenly shouts "lab," much to everyone's shock, and then proceeds to say "lab is the only thing I want." After all, they have no idea what lab is. So then the mentalist decides to pull the game and begins to show himself as well as Senku, as he calls himself Labkun. Go to her already. Oh, this girl is so, and then pulls up the effective lie that Kohaku is Lab's girlfriend and don't get anything close to the boyfriend Labkun. And seeing the fact that she screamed with all her might, Lab, that's what I absolutely want. Kirisame buys it. And then Kohaku creates an illusionary kiss almost close to Senku, although he doesn't really take that so well. But neither does Kohaku. And even Kirisame decides to just then go away there and just says, "Oh well, just go home already. Don't go on a date here." I mean, she did say she didn't really like perverts, but I guess I have to assume that she is pretty shy when it comes to, well, love herself. And then it turns out that all of that was not for to them get them away in this scenario, but also because they was hoping that if there were any survivors, then at least that one would know to lab. And yes, there is a survivor. Unfortunately, it is the least reliable survival of them all. Well, he can be pretty reliable when he wants to be. Unfortunately, though, we all know him too that he can switch on a team. Also, Senku and the rest of the gang do not know that Suka is here, so she can also help, but she is not here close by to have heard the lab. No, the one that heard is none other than Ginru, who we last saw. He swam into the water to tell them. So when the beam happened, he actually died underwater, and now he is hiding in a barrel. He heard everything that they needed the lab, but he also says that he wants to be keep hiding, but that's not good either. So their last hopes is none other than Ginro, the cowardly man who is, well, sometimes annoying, sometimes not. Well, that is amazing. But again, they also have Suka, but they don't know that yet. And if there's any way for Suka to prove herself really useful, it is this. So again, nice chapter. That girl fight, that was a treat. I really like that one. Some nice comedy moments there. Not so Senku and Kwaku teasing though. After all, Senku is honestly and completely a chaste hero, or asexual, as I would call it. Yes, not completely interested in anything sexual or romantic, anything. He just takes that with a bit boring, but also not too surprising. For him, it's all about the science. But a scientific makeup, though, how's that gonna work? Again, I feel like Kohaku is way more durable and sexy than people give her credit for. But maybe it's her attitude. I still haven't heard her Japanese pronouns yet. But you give me your thoughts if you have any.